were last year at this time to where we are now. It just absolutely amazing. So the Draft Professor followers, you guys are amazing.
Yes.
The podcasters in this channel, you rock. And Newt, like you're leading up the Cheesehead TV guide. Like
I'm not leading it. I'm not leading it. Jersey Al is leading it. That man is a saint for all he does. I just had the opportunity to be a part of it and push it on every podcast opportunity I get.
There you go. So we are going to be doing a 1-round mock. We are going to be doing it with trades, and we are going to be using the PFSN simulator. I know that Newt has had a chance to guest appear on a few PFSN podcasts, so we are going to give them a shout out on this channel right here. So we are doing a 1-round mock. We are doing it with trades, and we're not sure exactly how this is going to go, but I think I have all the teams selected. I've got 1 round, and I've never used this simulator like within the last 2 years. So if I misclick a button, not my fault.
Jim, you want to zoom in on the window with your browser there so we can get a little closer view of it? There you go.
There it is.
Beautiful. Oh,
Jim was working with some binoculars there.
We forgot to celebrate that this podcast is officially now one of the best, if not the best, draft podcast to have someone on it that's rooting for a team that has the longest drought in NHL playoff history, or NHL playoffs currently.
That's fair.
Yep.
What happened, Newt?
What do you want me to say?
I don't know, but I'll make sure I'll send you a ton of pictures when I'm down in the party at the Plaza on Saturday. Taking the belt to the Bruins.
Yeah, no, they sucked it up at the end. So,
did you see my tweet about how the picture of me from the last time the Sabres were in the playoffs?
Was that you and your brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that.
That picture was from Easter, which is the last memory I have of it because Billy Lano scored an OT game-winning goal on Easter. So that was 2 days before they got eliminated. I was 10 years old in that picture.
That is wild.
There was a flashback that came through my feed today. And again, this is a football and a draft podcast, but we are starting talking about hockey. But today is the anniversary of when Buffalo, the Sabres, were playing Quebec. And a fan jumped onto the ice, and Rob Ray pummeled the fan. He pummeled the fan on the Sabres bench was holding him, and like 5 different Sabres were just punching the guy. Yes, until security came. So today is the anniversary of that. So
yeah, it's fun to talk about hockey when the teams are good.
Yep, and it's that's an old highlight because Quebec doesn't have a hockey team, and I don't think Quebec has had a hockey team for 30 years.
The Nordiques.
Yeah, the Avalanche tossed their jerseys on like every 10 games this season, and I think they lost in almost all of them.
Okay, so forgive all the ads that are popping up. I'm already moderately annoyed, but Raiders at pick 1, like this pick has been mailed in, right?
Yeah,
Ty Simpson. Yep.
Do we want to go back and forth, or do we want to come to consensus on each pick?
I think we can come to consensus and talk about it.
I mean, yeah, we could absolutely get majority with an odd person, but I think, like Jim said, this is an easy pick.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Jets at 2, they canceled a 30 visit with David Bailey today. So the questions that like Steve and other Jets fans ask is, should you be drafting a player where you know exactly what their position is, such as David Bailey, or if you're not sure, do you go Arvel Reese, or do you go Sonny Styles, or do you go a different direction?
My thought is I'm just trying to draft the best football player possible, and I said this I think when I was with Dale on Steve's Huddle. On Sunday mornings. So wherever your next best player is, because the Jets, they can use it all. And so for me, to the point that you're making, Jim, I understand where it's like with David Bailey, you're getting that surefire position. But I think that if you take a look at Arvell Reese and really what he's got an opportunity to become, it's so hard to pass up that possibility that he could be a difference maker. Like a Micah Parsons, you see a guy like Abdul Carter who maybe made that switch a year before Arvell Reese and got a chance to actually play his final year of college with that transition. And I think with just leaning on those two examples, I really do like what Arvell Reese can be. And I think that he can just be such a difference maker for a team that absolutely needs an identity. For me, he's my number 2 overall player. But I think just the way that he plays, it would be my vote to go Arvell Reese. Owen, I don't know what you think.
So I agree with that. I mean, I have Arvell Reese as my second. No, he's my first overall player. I love Arvell Reese. I'm thinking about him, definitely here as a player that they trade away Jermaine Johnson. They're telling you that they want to transition at that edge position. They already have a guy who's kind of that tweener look when it comes to Will McDonald, where you're looking at a kind of not straight up like a base 4-3 defensive ends. They're looking for more of these hybrid type players. And I think with the team they are starting to put together with Tavondre Sweat, I think Harrison Phillips is still there. A couple of these down linemen they have on the roster, they can run more of these odd man fronts, which I don't know if that was specifically what he ran in Detroit, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they end up transitioning to under Aaron Glenn here. I think this is one of 2 players for me. I think it's Arvell Reese or it's Sonny Styles. But Arvell Reese, I think, is higher value position and in a position of more need for them right now.
That's fair. I like that.
Okay. So what do we think Arizona is going to do here at 3rd overall?
Who's their right tackle?
Someone bad.
Yeah, it needs to be like, to me, this pick is either defensive line or it's offensive line. But if this pick is in the trenches, the Cardinals have a chance to nail the draft. Is there a team that's going to come up and get somebody, or do we think that the Cardinals are sticking and picking?
So, I mean, who's worth coming up and getting? David Bailey. I'm thinking more consensus because for anyone out there watching that doesn't know, like Bailey is number 15 on both mine and Owen's board, so it's not like we're speaking from a point of love, but this is, something like predictively, he's talked about this high. I think David Bailey. I don't know. Like, I mean, Jeremiah Love seems way too early for him.
But is a team going to come up because they want Tate? Is a team going to come up because they want Lomu, or is not Lomu, Fano or Freeling?
But if I guess the way that I would look at it, and Owen, I'll let you kind of speak to that. If Fano or Freeling are that good in the eyes of the NFL, and maybe it's individual team by team, but why wouldn't Arizona just take them right here? Especially like if you take a look at like CC or Fano, with like the need at right tackle.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know.
That's
what
right.
do you think?
Yeah, and you guys have Fano graded high enough to take here, right? If I remember this, because we did some dueling 1-round mocks a few weeks ago. You guys have Fano where you could take him at 3, right?
I do, and I had it going at 3 to the Cardinals.
I see the
what I would do, I think center, right guard, right tackle, they need all 3 of those positions on the offensive line. Fano offers flexibility to all 3 spots, I think. For me, I think being predictive, I think this is CC because I think they're going to want to go right tackle or right guard. He's kind of gotten that syndrome of just awesome player that we just stopped talking about because it's boring to talk about awesome players. And I think that teams aren't going to be so quickly to move off of that because they're not interested in clicks and interesting talking points. They just like, okay, this could have been they probably got this pick and we're like, okay, this is gonna be the guy 3 months ago. Like this is what they decided to do with it. So I think for me, Maui Noah is the player that fits what they need on the offensive line and is probably the best overall player to do what they need right now at this position.
I'm not going to push back on that at all. I like Maui Noah better than Fano, and I would agree with that.
Okay, so then, I have my eye on Carnell Tate, Jermod McCoy, and Mansour Delane.
Oh, I had my eye on someone completely different.
Well, no, and what I mean by my eye on, I think those players represent a tier break.
Okay.
Meaning that the receiver you get after Tate isn't in the same tier as Tate. And the corners that you're going to get after McCoy, like if McCoy is healthy, he probably goes second overall to the Jets.
That's fair. I think if it was a trade up opportunity, when you see one of the two cornerbacks go, that's gonna maybe like be the linchpin for the other one. That's fair. I've kind of led this with them. What do you think for Tennessee?
I'm between two edge players here for me personally, or Sonny Styles. I think Sonny Styles is also an option, but I think the two edge players for me would be Bain and Bailey.
I wanted to go Bain, so
I just think for what they want, they went and added Jermaine Johnson. They have an interior presence with Jeffrey Simmons, so they want to go more odd front. The Robert Saleh, defense. It would be someone who can be kind of a head up or an outside shade heavy defensive end if they even wanted to go an even front. Now you have two even front D ends. You have some D tackle depth.
Yep.
And you can always add more in the later in this draft. So I think for me that would be where I would go. It would be Bain, but I think it depends on who they like more and if they're what snag they get held up on more. Is it going to be Bain in his arm length, or is it going to be Bailey in the character issues and run defense to an extent?
So do you think corner is a bigger need than edge? Do you think they're even thinking McCoy or Delane here?
I think with the fact that they pick so high in the second, and that we only say there's going to be those two guys that are going to go, and they still have investment sunk into. I'm forgetting the corner's name that was on KC that they traded for.
Not McDuffie.
No, the other one.
I know who you're talking about.
From Louisiana Tech.
Yep.
Oh,
I cannot remember his name right now. But yeah,
blanking on his name. But yeah,
they traded for him. So I think that might expire this year though, or after this season.
But he's still there, and he still has an opportunity to bounce back, and so it's a pressing need if he doesn't bounce back. But I do think that where they're positioned at the top of the second, they could grab Chris Johnson, Brandon Cisse, some of these like next tier of corners, and they could be coming to be C2B2 and hope that whoever we're forgetting the name of can be the bounce back guy and be their C1.
I'm all on board with Bain.
Okay, so Ruben Bain going 4th overall. Okay. So, and again, I'm just going to keep saying, like, the Giants need a corner, and McCoy and Delane are here. I mean, they could go linebacker. They've addressed more linebacker in free agency than they have corner.
Who did they get in free agency? Because my initial reaction was Sonny Styles here. But
so they got Tremaine Edmonds, and I believe they signed one other linebacker.
And Tremaine Edmonds, I just realized 3 weeks ago on the show, is like only 27 years old because he got drafted so incredibly young.
Right. And I mean, I'm just going to keep asking the questions, and I'm just going to be that annoying kid in the back of the card that says, "Are we there yet?" You're under no obligation to agree with me.
So this is where, not in a predictive, but this is where I'd want Caleb Downs to go if it was.
I was just going to say that exact same thing.
This I would be like, this is where Caleb Downs should go. I don't think there's any way in hell he goes here in a predictive, just because there's such a devaluation of the safety position, and I think Owen laid it out really well with as you get further from the ball, that the impact is going to change.
We have to attack this as in what's the most Ravens type pick they can make here. Because Harbaugh has just gone after his guys from the Ravens, and they always are kind of going with best player available, regardless of fit, or with some leaning towards need. Like, I'm looking at the roster.
Is this a Fano pick then?
It could be.
I can see it. I mean, they need offensive line help. I could see it.
Because I mean, you've got Andrew Thomas on the left side. Have they figured out the right side yet?
It's Jermaine and Luminor right now.
I'm not, that doesn't move the needle for me. And even if Fano's got to play guard to start and then move, or like he's got flexibility. I just talked about that on the PFSN football debate club where I think Fano could slide in. Fano would be my pick here probably if it's a predictive one, because I think that I think he's worth it. That's
and
Harbaugh
Harbaugh's going to try to do trenches. Like he will select the best player available, but he's going to want to build in the trenches before he I can see this being McCoy.
Well, they just added this offseason. They added Greg Newsome, and they added another corner in free agency in or no, they already had Paulson Adebo from last free agency period, and they added Greg Newsome this year.
And then they had Andrew Phillips.
Corners.
Don't they have Andrew Phillips as well?
Yeah, they drafted Andrew Phillips a couple years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Deontay Banks, real needle mover there.
As your fourth corner.
So what do you guys think?
Like corner.
I'll let Owen make the decision. Fano would be my pick, though.
Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Spencer Fano.
Jeremiah Love was an idea that I was like, think about floating out there, but I think we go for Spencer Fano. I think
all right.
This is the JC Latham spot we've seen in years past, where players that we don't think that's going to be where they're going with, but like they just take trenches because you need trenches. Speaking of,
well, this is the question: is this Monroe Freeling or is this Carnell Tate?
Or is somebody trading up to come get
Sonny Styles or corner?
Well,
that's good.
Right. So if we look, there's a stretch here where the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Dolphins and the Cowboys.
I was going to say the Cowboys. Cowboys have another first round pick.
They've been wanting to trade up for. I can't remember who the name is that keeps floating.
If the Cowboys traded up, I think they're trading up for Styles, not a corner.
I think the Browns, with the fact that just Fano and Maui went off the board, bang bang, I think they would stick and pick Freeling here if I was them. Or then in my mind,
let's go Freeling. Yeah. I think they need so much help along the offensive line. I think, and if Freeling's there, he's best left tackle. I don't know if anyone would argue that he's maybe. There's a couple people probably. I think Clint likes actually Lomu the best, doesn't he?
I like Lomu better.
Ooh, I didn't. All right, well, it was okay for Clint, but for you, not sure about that.
Okay, Commanders at 7.
Can we make a trade?
Well, yeah, and this is like one of the most obvious trade backs. Who's coming up for who? Because Dallas. Well, no, Dallas isn't trading with the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the same division. That's not going to happen. I would be shocked if Dallas traded up with Washington.
I've seen the Vikings and Lions make draft.
We've seen some divisional trades in recent draft history.
Actually, I think Packers for Christian Watson made a trade with the Vikings.
Didn't the Browns didn't the Bears trade with the Vikings to move up for Justin Fields in that draft class? Wasn't that the team that moved down for them?
Yeah, but that was Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well, who would the player be? Who is Dallas targeting, and why is it David Bailey?
And you're saying Bailey. I would be thinking. I think Dallas needs defensive backs and linebackers. I think more than it needs an edge. But I think with the board here, Dallas could be like, we could trade up with Kansas City. Like if Dallas is looking at McCoy, Delane, and Styles, they could say it's not worth it to trade up to here because one of those three will be at 9.
Well, I think also who are the Saints going to draft that Dallas is afraid they're going to take?
Styles.
Styles.
Are the Saints going to do that over Carnell Tate?
According to Drew, yes. Like okay. Drew is all, but Drew as Denzel Boston as wide receiver 1, so he doesn't see the need to take Carnell Tate here.
Okay.
I also think that maybe like they have Olave, they have other pieces, and this wide receiver class is good enough that I think they'll value a guy that high not as much. They'll probably want to go for more of a limited resource. And like linebacker is one of the most limited resources in this class, especially Sonny Styles.
Oh, if it's once again, what's up, Andy? If it's not going to be the Dallas, like we can toss the Dallas trade out. I'm totally good with that. But like then in Washington trade back makes a ton of sense. But like who?
And I don't know that Carnell Tate is the receiver for the Rams. So, like, Anthony, you've put that in the chat twice. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but like Omar Cooper to me feels like a better scheme fit for the Rams than Tate. But
I mean,
like,
I've been saying that for a while.
And you may have been the one that put that in my head.
Why is this not one of the corners for just Washington? Why are they not just picking corners with that scarcity at that position? Like they brought in a Mick Robertson to be their slot, but that's keeping Mike Sanders still at outside corner.
Yeah, you want Sanders still to be in.
I could see Miami. Does Miami think that a corner is going to get to 11?
Oof.
Right, because Miami has the capital to come up.
Miami needs a cornerback really bad, but they need
that
a lot
third
on the
round
defense.
pick? What's the value chart here between 7 and 11?
Here, I can pull it up. I'll pull it up really quick.
While he pulls it up, what corner speaks to Miami more? I think it'd be Delane, would it not be?
With Hafley, I think it'd be Delane.
All right, yeah, I forgot. Packers expert over here.
Expert's a strong word.
It's a difference of less than 70 on the value chart, and 70 is just shy of pick 75. So the Dolphins have picked 75. So if the Dolphins sent 11 and 75, that's really close to the value chart.
Yeah, I was watching. I'd take it.
Yes, and that's what I mean. The Commanders don't have a lot of capital.
Yeah.
I
think that's a good trade to make. I think Miami might have to just move a little bit more. Like, what else do they have?
They could do like a pick swap and like give one of the fifths or give one
their fourth to the fifth or something like that. But Jim, I agree with that. I think that's. I think if Miami were to flip their fifth to a six, like Owen just said, but we don't have to. I mean, what would that? Miami's 151 to like, I don't know.
So you're saying throw in 151 and then like something like this?
Yeah.
Is that 157? Or what was that? I can barely see.
It's 1175 and 151 for 7 and 187. And I mean, I can flip it to like 209 or 223.
I think 187 is good. I like that. So Washington moves up a half a round in middle of day 3, and they gain a third round pick to move back 4 spots.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like that.
So Anthony in the chat, I know he's a Dolphins fan. He's saying that the Dolphins GM said they're more likely to trade down than trade up. I mean, like everyone is saying that. I think picks 4 through 10 have been rumored about being wanting to trade down to the point where I think it's going to make it that the price is going to be cheaper to move up than anything if you have a guy you like. And he's saying here that he thinks that they'll covet McCoy over Delane. I could see if they were planning on maybe just kind of tanking this year, banking on the future. But I think stylistically, from what they've showed they've wanted to bring in, like what does Delane not offer for them?
Yeah, and I think it's like new from a Packers measurement standpoint. Delane is slightly undersized, right?
Yes. So 5'10" and a half is the mark from like the Ron Wolf tree. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I'm pretty sure Delane is fine there. Here, I gotta pull it up real quick. I mean, we're spending a lot of time on this, but I think this is a good conversation. No, Delane is. They're both thinner. They're both sub 190. When you take a look at Delane, he runs with really good speed. I like the fit of him in the Hafley system because it lets Hafley be more aggressive. And when you got a guy like Delane, you got a guy that can just be a bully in man coverage. Where I think with McCoy, you're getting a phenomenal athlete, and that's what might speak to the Sullivan part of it. But there's also, the element of he hasn't played football in over I don't know what is it now? Like 20 months?
Well,
Not that long, but still, I think if it were me and like looking at the Halfley defense, I would think Mansour to Lane personally.
I would agree with that, and I think the bit so like Steve is saying that it would probably be McCoy for he thinks it'd be McCoy too if the medicals are okay, but like I doubt the medicals are going to be okay enough that like I don't know if the margins are so greatly different that you're willing to take McCoy, whereas you can get to Lane with no medical issues.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna do the trade, and then we're taking Delane.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. Yeah.
Yep. And just for the record, Miami is starting Storm Duck at corner. And the reason we're doing the trade is we don't think one of the top two corners was going to make it to 11.
No.
Well, because one of them might have gone to Washington, and you have to dodge the other three teams that need corner taking one here.
Yep. So I think some of that we know because the three of us have been podcasting together for 2 years, and we have this legendary Draft Professor group chat where this gets discussed all the time. But if it hasn't been said on this podcast, and that's the first time somebody's ever heard us, they don't know why we did that. But we don't think so McCoy is probably coming off the board before pick 11. That's the reason that Miami would have moved up. What do we think the Saints are doing at 8? Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, Jermod McCoy.
You guys said you want to go Styles here?
Well, I mean, Drew would love Styles, but just because that's what a draft professor would like, is that what we think the Saints would do?
This could also be McCoy. They have Isaac Adams starting at corner right now. I actually like the linebackers a bit. I know, like, P. Warner's still there. They have Caden Ellis. They brought in Carl Granderson, or Carl Granderson. They have some guys at backer that would prevent, like, Sonny Styles. I don't think is going to prevent anybody from choosing one or being picked over one of those guys. Those guys aren't preventing you from taking Sonny Styles, but corner is much more of a
David Bailey is still on the board.
That is true too.
I don't know if he gets to this point and then doesn't go. I think the Saints absolutely could use pass rush. Jim, I don't know what you think.
So part of me thinks help Tyler Shuck. Part of me thinks that Jermod McCoy, fully healthy, goes higher than 8. Right? Like, if we had to look at like who the blue chip grades were in this class at a position that's worthy of a top 10 pick, it's Jermod McCoy and then possibly Jeremiah Love would be those blue chip players. The only reason that McCoy is at 12 is because of the injury. But McCoy, if medicals check, he's not staying on the boards too much longer. He's either going at 8 or he's going at 9.
I think this should be either Bailey or Styles, and the next pick is going to be McCoy.
Okay.
I would say, God, it hurts me to say, but I would say let's go Bailey here. And then if McCoy's on the board for
Chiefs are taking him.
Chiefs. That's such a quick and easy conversation.
Oh yeah, and that would really help that Spags defense.
Oh my gosh!
And I don't want, as a Bills fan, I don't like the McCoy to Kansas City pick. I would just state that for the record.
Is this then?
Are they ready to move off those two investments they made at linebacker in the draft last year already in Cincinnati, or is this Caleb Downs?
Oh, I think this is Sonny Styles.
I think it's Jeremiah Love.
I heard that. I heard that this morning, Jim, as like an idea. And I do like that idea that you're not super sold on a bunch of stuff on this board when it comes to auto impact. Again, because you invested so much in linebacker, safety going to be a spot that you're going to want to stick a 10th in overall investment in, and you could just make the most unstoppable offense in the league and not have to pay Chase Brown. You have contract control.
I have a different idea. Does Dallas think Washington is going to take Sonny Styles?
Probably.
If Styles is on the board,
I think they would jump. They would jump.
Who else would Washington take?
So Dallas can definitely move up here to get Styles.
It wouldn't cost much either.
No, it'd be
right.
Got it.
And be like, basically, if you're the Bengals, you're looking at Styles, Love, and Downs on the board. And if you drop 2 spots and you get one of those 3 players, I think it's a win for Cincinnati.
I think this would cost Dallas number 92 pick though. Is your late 3rd round pick worth moving up 2 spots?
So pick 12 is worth 347. Pick 10 is worth 369. There's only 20 points difference. 20 points is a round 4 pick.
Yeah, but like how early in round 4?
It's a late to mid round 4. I'm looking to see if where Dallas picks in round 4 right now.
They pick at pick
112 is worth 27.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Bengals kind of fell out of love with the linebackers towards the end because they traded Logan Wilson. Demetrius Knight didn't really super impress. Are we just overtaking this and they would just take Sonny Styles?
That's what I was saying.
They have need on defense. The best player that probably shouldn't be here or is not being mocked to be here is available. I think they just don't question it and move on.
Styles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Washington traded back. The corners are off the board, but Downs is here. So to me, this is Downs.
Yeah.
It's either Tate, Love, or Downs, right?
Yeah, right now their safeties in line to start are Will Harris from New Orleans and Nick Cross from Indy.
Yeah, let's go Caleb Downs here. Let's get a good football player in this team. This team needs to get younger. They need to get good players on it. They have they're not a bad team. They got riddled with injuries last year, and obviously Daniels going down didn't help anything. But yeah, I don't know. I think Caleb Downs is an easy pick.
If they trade down and still land, if they trade down, pick up pick 75, and then also still get Downs, I think they're pretty happy with that.
I agree.
Okay, Dallas is on the clock at 12. Love is still here.
You were saying it, Jim. This is not how Dallas probably wanted their board to fall.
Right, and this the same thing happened in Epic Mock. All the defensive players are off the board for Dallas. Is somebody going to come up and get Carnell Tate? Like, do the Ravens come up? Do the Jets come up? The Jets could come up for the Jets have the capital to come up for Tate.
Who do the Jets have besides Garrett Wilson? They have Adonai Mitchell. And then who else? Is there anyone else there?
I feel like they just made a pick last year into the position, but I'll double check.
And a lot of this is the tier of player that you're going to get at 12 is significantly different than 16.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's Adonai Mitchell, Garrett Wilson, and then their next best player is Isaiah Williams from Cincinnati's practice squad. Arian Smith, Irvin Charles, Jamal Pritchett, Quentin Skinner, Matt Delena are their wide receivers.
So Steve goes, run the card for Love. He thinks that Jerry Jones would in this situation.
I also think that's what he would do.
You think so?
Well, yeah, like they paid Javonte, sure, but like they aren't afraid to invest.
I'm a fan of this. Like I've been kind of saying this for a while. Let's go with Jeremiah Love here. I think this is a great fit for him.
It fits for what Jerry loves. It fits for what is kind of common in the NFL now, which is 2 lead backs. Javonte Williams was a back in like a 2-back system last year. They ran a 2-back system last year. And you can maybe find a way to get out of the Javonte contract and then just stay cheaper after having 1 year of both of them on your roster. Especially if the board falls this way and you're kind of stuck with what you'd want to do.
Okay. And we think Jerry Jones would take Love over a Jets trade up to get Tate.
But with the Jets, here's my question. And maybe
I don't know if the Jets would want to do that.
Because, like, there's Mekhi Lemon right here. There's Denzel Boston. There's Casey Concepcion. There's Omar Cooper Jr. Like, maybe one of them's a reach. Because, like,
okay,
I don't know. I don't see that when they need so much being worth it. Like, if Steve's in the chat, I'd love to hear. But if I were the Jets, I'd sit still.
So I've seen enough of Steve's Twitter to know that he will go from like even 16 up to 9 to go get Tate. So I know that Steve would be pro trade up for Tate. I don't know how high he's willing to go for Tate, but he was trying to do that in Epic Mock. So like I know I've had those conversations with Steve, but we will go Jeremiah Love at 12 to Dallas. And this is probably a weapon for the Rams. Is there a player that you would put to the Rams that's not an offensive skill player?
I'm just looking at their top 30 visits right now. There's a lot of linebackers, a lot of linemen, a lot of corners. They did a private workout with Chris Johnson with a film session.
Would you guys take Chris Johnson at 13?
Absolutely not.
No, I wouldn't at 13.
They
met privately with Lomu.
That's early. They did Lomu?
They met with Lomu. But so did multiple teams.
Yeah. So the Rams do have I believe an impending issue at tackle. It's not immediate, but I think when I looked, one of their tackles was like on the wrong side of 30. And I realize like tackles can play until they're 35, but
Steve's saying Mekhi Lemon in the chat.
Well, they met heavily with Zachariah Branch. I think that would be their guy for like if they went Lomu here and then Chris Johnson their next pick, they would then probably hit Zachariah Branch is because that's who they met with the most of any wide receiver. All the top wide receivers they didn't meet with.
I don't like Zachariah Branch is a 3rd round player in my opinion, so you don't have to convince
that's what I mean.
me
so
that
I don't think they're taking him here.
No,
I
no.
think it's just Lomu. I think the run on tackle and the fact that they met with him and the fact that they're going to have a need, it's all kind of coalescing into like this is probably where they feel the push to take a guy in the board which fits like every category of what you'd want to do for a top 15 pick.
You like Lomu here, Newt?
I'm fine with I love Lomu here. I think that this is a really good spot for him.
Yep. And I love that you're looking up 30 visits as we make picks. Okay. Ravens are on the clock at 14. I feel like Carnell Tate.
Yeah. Tate. Yep. Just take him.
Okay.
This is one. Once again, the Ravens do it again. I hate this organization. Every freaking year, I pick up the dollar bills, lay it on the floor, and they're like, we're better than you. I don't even know how we did that.
So we have this is like one of the most legendary draft professor chats ever. Like, I'm just looking at who's watching the show. Jake, it's good to see you. I don't know who this Nuke guy is. Steve, it's really good to see you. Iowa Joe, thank you for stopping by. Anthony's here. This is like a who's who of the draft professor group chat.
It'd be better if Jake wasn't throwing shit at Denzel Boston, but we'll let that one go.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the top. I'm looking at the top 30 visits for them, and it kind of matching up with the board. Cade Otton.
Huh? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Let's someone that actually moves the needle a little bit, bud.
I think this
you leave former Washington Husky Cade Otton alone.
Yep. I think for the Buccaneers, this conversation is Sadiq or an edge.
I agree. Do they play? So Steve's saying Falk. Do they play a 3-4?
So
they do because Cassius Howell is a really good scheme fit. Now, would you guys take Lawrence this high?
No.
No, probably not. They've met with 6 tight ends in top 30 visits, and then looking at other players edges, they've met with R. Mason Thomas, Zion Young, Nande Tucker, and then D tackles met with Halton, Kristen Miller, Lee Hunter. I think Kristen Miller is the one that jumps out to me as being even possible for 15, and that's still a little rich. I think they were looking for a 5-tech type player or 4-eye.
So 4-eye would be Falk, and that's what Steve's saying. I know, or is this where Cassius Howell goes? Like Jim was saying, does he go higher than we think? I don't think so, but I'm just
Did Peter Woods go here? I mean, if they met with Halton, they would consider Peter Woods, right?
I don't think so, but I think they're meeting with Halton, expecting to get him maybe in the second. Yeah. I think all those D tackles, the way that list looked at me, for me, it looked like, okay, let's just do our due diligence on who would be here in the second for us.
I would go. So Jim, I don't know if you can pop Steve's comment up, but I 100% agree with Steve. I think it is Sadiq or Falk.
Because I guess I've been conditioned to be anti-Falk here because of JT.
Okay,
no. But just because that's not who JT likes doesn't mean that's not what the Bucks would do. I'm just saying JT, the draft professor, who's a Bucks guy, is anti-Falk.
I think this could be Sadiq or this could be Zion Young. The fact that they met with him, there's no way he's making it to them in the second round. And he gives off the vibe of a player that's going to be a lot higher rated by the NFL than, especially me, but even other people are looking at.
You're saying Sadiq?
I'm talking about Zion Young.
Oh.
You think Zion Young go here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They met with him specifically to have a workout with him. And if they're going to go edge, I think that just gives me the vibe of a guy that gets drafted way higher than we expect. But I don't love that idea for a pick. I don't think I really love it. I'm not in love with any of these ideas, to be honest with you.
Is there a trade up before the Jets? Does anyone want Mekhi Lemon? Does anyone want Jordan Tyson actually? I don't know.
So let's look. Okay, so the Jets are probably going to go wide receiver or some other offensive skill player. This is a pretty good wide receiver board.
Yeah, I think wide receiver for sure.
Now, Detroit likely needs offensive line. Minnesota could go a lot of ways, but Thieneman's there. But what I'm trying to say is there a Sadiq team in here somewhere where somebody's going to come up and get him? Is San Francisco? Now that's a big jump though for San Francisco to get to 15.
Carolina would be the team to come up.
There's no player on this board that makes me willing to give up a day 2 pick to move up to grab him.
I agree. Because Carolina, the move for Carolina to come up, that would be the earliest one. You're coming up
in division.
Yep.
And there you go. So
Anthony, I don't think the Dolphins are going to be creating a Shane. So I don't think so. Especially because I don't think the Bucks are going to be trading to acquire a running back.
I think I think we should send it with Sadiq here, and then
I'm fine with that
because they did bring in 6 tight ends for top 30 visits.
So clearly it's definitely a need. The thing that I'll say here is, I know that Owen is relatively low on Zion Young. So Zion Young enters the conversation on the live coverage of the NFL draft. He doesn't make it on this podcast because one of the podcasters doesn't have Zion Young graded anywhere remotely high enough to be taken at 15. So, okay, so the Jets are here at 16. Are they splitting it up for Mekhi Lemon?
I think so.
I think so.
Well, here's the thing. So, is anyone? No, I don't think so. I think is it Mekhi Lemon or is it Jordan Tyson? I think Mekhi Lemon is the compliment, but is Jordan Tyson the better player?
I mean, he is the better player, but I think they're gonna want to just go with who they like more and think is a better overall player.
I would.
Thoughts on Steve. I actually think this may make sense.
I think this is hopium from a Jets fan that wants to pick up some extra draft capital that really doesn't like. I think they still have Lane Johnson, and if the pick they have, I think you can allow a more developmental tackle to fall to you at 23. And I'm not worried if I'm looking at it. Okay, Ahinakor, Proctor, some of these other guys are still on the board. Blake Miller are still on the board. I'm not worried about the Lions taking or all three of them going before they get to me.
It's especially none of them are worthy of like number 16 overall. Like I'm not going to trade up. I'm not going to trade up and then reach on a tackle. That's an issue that I would have with that. I like Mekhi Lemon here. I think that he's a compliment. I think the injury for Jordan Tyson might be a little bit scary. I'd be a fan of that.
All right, let's go Mekhi Lemon.
All right.
And then I think this is Proctor, right? That's been the rumor. They really like Proctor.
Is that kind of what's going around the after I just got
I've been hearing a lot.
saying like
yeah,
there's not a tackle that's worth taking right here. One pick later and say, oh yeah, easy tackle.
Well, that's who I've been hearing is like their favorite.
Oh, I've heard that too.
All right,
I like Caden Proctor. Yep.
Let's do it then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna push back.
Okay, so the Vikings are up. I think this is either Woods or Thieneman.
I think it's Woods.
But I could also see it being Caden McDonald.
I think it's Thieneman. Like they've been like when we originally had Downs falling down to a point, or the Vikings picking high enough that they could have got Downs. That was the intermediate pick. Thieneman is another player in a position that is going to be kind of hot or cold with who you like, and Woods has been kind of falling out of favor.
To go Thieneman?
I'm fine.
Panthers.
Ooh.
Wide receiver 3 years in a row with the top pick.
I mean,
if they did that, their GM should get fired. I like every Panthers person that's come on and does mocks loves taking a wide receiver on day 1 or day 2.
But that's like the same thing with the Chiefs. Like, how many people have like mocked a wide receiver to the Chiefs if Delane and McCoy are gone? And it's like, bro, you just took. And now, granted, Rashid Rice was a 2nd-round pick, but like Xavier Worthy and Rashid Rice.
They've taken in top 30 visits on Omar Cooper Jr. and Casey Concepcion.
Oh, the Panthers have.
The
Vikings or the Panthers.
So and Owen, I know that you like Omar Cooper Jr. Like you like him even higher than this.
Cooper Jr. would be a really good fit. Like if you've got Tetsuo McMillan, and then you've got Xavier Legette. Like those are 2 big guys. Like there's a really good compliment of Cooper Jr. there. Then
does Legette become their new tight end since they didn't get Sadiq in this? I think I would go Omar Cooper Jr. here for the pick, just because I think they've shown interest in the position and they've brought guys in that are in this range for that position. Like they also brought in like Basantis for top 30, but
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Dallas
is this Peter Woods?
I don't think Dallas needs interior. I think Dallas needs edge or DB.
Kenny Clark is not a young man anymore. Can I remind people of that?
They have Quinn Williams.
But you need 2 players.
But look at their edge room. Like their edge room needs a guy, and they don't pick again till round 3.
Donovan Izaraku and a bunch of dust.
So okay, here's the question then. Is it Zion Young? Is it TJ Parker? I don't know if Keldrick Falk's a really good fit here.
Let's see what their top 30
say. I think Falk is a reasonable fit because he plays the run, and that was why they traded Micah Parsons.
But
and I'm glad that made you laugh. Oh, I'm glad that made you laugh.
Oh my god. The only edge that I'm seeing, they brought in David Bailey for a top 30. He's gone. Cassius Howell came in for a top 30. And those are the only guys and then the next closest is like Romello Height.
Is Cassius Howell the pick then?
I kind of like that.
If they brought in Cassius Howell,
It'd be we just got done talking about how they emphasize run defending, and then they bring in a guy who's an absolute non-factor in the run defense as an edge rusher. It'd be hilarious. Running
and
back
we go
and a
from
non-run defending
Keldrick
edge.
Falk to Cassius Howell. Like, could players be any more opposite?
I mean, if you want, in my opinion, if you want the best of both worlds, I think that TJ Parker would be the pick. Now, I don't know, like, where he would fall on a lot of others, but if you know, they brought Cassius Howell for a top 30, I think that would make like here's the thing, if they brought him in, when are you expecting to get him if not at pick 20?
It would be a trade back scenario. Now, is this board like, is somebody coming up to, for example, is somebody going to try to jump the Chargers for Ioane or McDonald?
We have to talk about, is someone going to jump the Steelers for Ioane?
I don't think anyone would for a guard.
Would
right.
the
and
Chargers,
then is somebody going to
jump the Steelers though?
Or would somebody be jumping Buffalo for KC Concepcion?
No, because Jordan Tyson's still on the board.
I don't think that would matter.
But I don't think if you got those two guys, I'm not.
You're saying if both of them are on the board, don't trade up to get one because they're both there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm serious about exploring this like Chargers trade. Actually,
I think they're just going to stick here and take Falk personally because I think
Chargers?
they're going to want to go. No, the
Dallas
Cowboys. I think they're going to take Falk and boost the edge room. They probably brought in Howell to see probably get a better read on him, measurements themselves, stuff like that. But they've definitely shown interest in edge. It's just going to be whether or not they get one early on, which they have Bailey, or are they just going to take the best available? They might not have had any questions about Falk, which is why they haven't brought him in for top 30, which I think even I saw the highest frequency of top 30 picks drafted by a team for the past 5 years was 10%. It doesn't always have to be a top 30 player that gets drafted.
So do we like Falk here at pick 20 to Dallas?
I think it goes Falk, then receiver, then Ioane.
Falk, go Falk here. That's fine. I don't think it goes receiver though.
But Pittsburgh at 21. Is this between Tyson, Ioane, and Concepcion?
I think it's Ioane.
What's their guard room look like? They need a guard?
I don't think their guard room is terrible. I think tackle is where they've had question marks.
You got Broderick Jones, and then on the other side you have
Troy Fatanu. Mace McCormick's been decent, and then Spencer Anderson left guard. I guess you could upgrade there.
You guess you get upgraded there? Yeah, you could definitely upgrade there, bud.
All right, well then go Ioane, because I think it's a receiver. They met like Steve mentioned in the chat. They met with a bunch of them. So it could just be that they're doing their due diligence on the position group. Who's expecting this to be a strength in the area?
I will ask the question. So they got DK Metcalf, and then I'm blanking a little bit. Who do they have following that? Because they got
Roman Wilson. I think Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin.
It's Michael Pittman, Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin. Pittman. Or Calvin Austin left, I think it's Roman Wilson as their slot.
But Roman Wilson isn't going to prevent me from taking KC Concepcion.
He's not, but Ioane would.
I think we just go Ioane. I think the Steelers do tend to draft guys, and you got to think about also who's drafting now. Mike McCarthy's there. He didn't take a receiver in the first round the entire time he was with the Packers, or damn near. I think he might be having some pull on going with trenches and trying to just establish that first.
Okay. Ioane, welcome to Pittsburgh. Chargers on the clock at 22. Is this Peter Woods?
Is it Woods or is it McDonald?
It could be Woods. It could be McDonald. I could see TJ Parker being a good pick here as well.
Could it be Kristen Miller?
I like Kristen Miller here.
I'm going to put my foot down. Hold the phone really quick. Can we stop being silly with this? Peter Woods.
He is my 6th overall player, Noob.
I understand that, and I think it's a lot of smoke. Caden McDonald, we've kind of went full circle with the Ohio State. defensive tackle. Who am I talking about?
Tyreek Williams.
Tyreek Williams. Like, we went full circle with the Caden McDonald, Tyreek Williams, where it's like, is he great? Yes. But, like, he gives you practically nothing as a pass rusher. Am I cool with him, like, at the end of the first round? Yes, if that need fits. But, like, I think Peter Woods here, when you're taking a look at this guy, what he can do and how he can change the game, I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think Peter Woods is like a DT1 for sure.
I'll step back. I'll let that be the pick. I think it's between him and Kristen Miller probably, but I think that'll probably be better.
Yeah, and again, because we're doing this half predictive, but half what are our evals on the player. And Newt has Peter Woods as a top 10 player, so there's no way Peter Woods should be dropping this far in the world of Newt Weston, right?
In my opinion, correct.
Well, he'd be way long gone if this was what I would do mock. Who was third overall for you was last in our we would do mocks, right, Newt?
Oh yeah, I took him to Arizona. And I pissed a lot of people off with that.
Oh yeah, when I posted that, the Arizona fans didn't like Peter Woods going third overall. But
they didn't like me.
I'm something. Any engagement is good engagement.
Got that right.
Right? Like, even if we make a pick that nobody likes, if they're telling us, that's engagement, right?
Is this Jordan Tyson?
I was gonna say, is this Kristen Miller? Moro Jomo's on the last year of his contract. I think Jordan Davis is on the last year of his contract.
Who's?
Oh no, he got extended. Jordan Davis got extended.
So Dontavian Wicks, Devontae Smith. Who did they get from Washington? I'm blanking.
Jahan Dotson.
No, Dotson went to Atlanta.
Okay, so you've got Dontavian Wicks and Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, who's more likely than not on his way out.
You have Jalen Carter is on the 4th year of his deal, which means you can take a 5th-year option and have him for next season as well. You have him down under contract for 2 more seasons. They extended Jordan Davis. Moro Jomo is out of a contract after this season. He's our other starting down lineman. And I'm thinking Chris Miller, Georgia. I like those connections. I agree with the receiver, but I mean, unless AJ Brown's off the roster by this point, are they still trying to work with him?
Are they planning on cutting AJ Brown after the 1st of June?
They could.
How about Iheanacho or Hood?
I like Iheanacho for this.
Lane Johnson. Yeah, Lane Johnson's old.
Iheanacho is a guy that needs some time to season, and if you have a guy like Lane Johnson in front of him.
All right, I accept this.
Okay, Cleveland's back up. Tyson or Concepcion?
I think it's gotta be Tyson.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I've been pounding the table for him for a little bit now. I think is this Caden McDonald for the Bears?
That was my suggestion.
Or is somebody jumping Buffalo to get KC Concepcion? Does San Francisco trade up one spot to go get Concepcion?
Why would they do that?
San Francisco needs a wide receiver. They need playmakers on offense. From what the multiple people that have done 49ers mocks on Draft Professor podcasts, they're going playmaker in either round 1 or round 2.
Man, they need. I'm trying to think. So,
I mean, but the 49ers also need offensive tackle.
That's
they
the
could
tackle
go a
is
couple.
what I'm looking at.
They could go a couple of other ways. But again, I'm asking.
They didn't meet with KC Concepcion.
They did or did not?
They did.
The Niners?
Yeah.
Yep. And they can move up here for a 4th-round pick, and the 49ers have 4 4th-round picks.
I'd say do that. I think that's a serviceable enough idea. And then because the Bears, they met with Caden McDonald top 30, but they've also met with a couple other guys that was like Zion Young. That could be realistic options here.
Can't trust the cyclone.
So San Francisco would send pick 27 and pick 139 to Chicago for 25. And
Steve, that's not the
we'll
Niners
also
style. Didn't they trade up for both Pearsall and Ayuk?
I don't think they traded up for Pearsall.
Did they not?
I thought they traded one pickup.
Yeah.
I think it was that the Leggett trade.
Well, no, the Leggett trade was with Buffalo.
Okay.
It's Buffalo, right? So Buffalo went from 28 to 32.
That's it.
And then the 49ers at 29, I think, picked Pearsall.
Okay.
What draft was that? 24? Oh my God.
So is that what we got right there? So Chicago sending 241 and 25
for a fourth. Basically, they move down 2 spots and they pick up a 4th round pick.
Yeah,
you're right. Pearsall. They didn't trade up for Pearsall. They stuck and picked at 30.
Yeah, and Jake just confirmed that in the chat.
Yeah. But they did move up for Ayuk.
Look at that. And look at that, like, without even looking at the trade chart, look at how good we did with that value.
There we go.
Beautiful.
It's almost like
all right. So this is Concepcion. We're sniping us, Jim.
Mean, you're gonna make that trade.
I'm all in favor now. So then the next question is: are the Bears going defensive tackle, and is somebody going to come up and snipe the Bears for a defensive tackle? Like, is Houston going to come up for Kristen Miller?
I think that would be foolish because
I think if you're the
Miller
Bills,
and McDonald.
Yeah, if you're the Bills, you're making a trade down, basically saying we don't want either of McDonald or Miller because they're both going to go with these next 2 picks. I think you just stick and take one of the 2 of them instead of making a trade down for 2 spots to lose out on both of them.
I just would have started, if I'm Brandon Beane in this case, I'm just stockpiling picks.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anybody really here that would warrant a trade up from the second. Like, unless the Cardinals want to make that same Blake Miller trade we made an epic mock. I don't know. It's understandable, but at the same time, I think with the fact that they went now, we know at 3, probably not. I think the Bills just take Miller and then the Bears go McDonald.
Okay. You like that, Newt?
I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm going to totally let you guys make the Bills pick. I'm not going to step in there.
Okay, so we have a short run on defensive tackles. So Houston's up at 28, and I think their defensive tackles just went off the board.
I know Brandon's in this chat here. I wonder what he feels about how
he was telling us to trade up. I think he was saying to trade up for Woods.
For Peter Woods, yeah.
So where were you, Brandon? Right here. Yeah. So, okay, so Woods, Miller, McDonald are off the board.
This is kind of reflection of last year's class. Like the way that this is the run where it was Tyreek Williams and it was Derek Harmon at the back end of the first. There was some there were players on the board at positions we were like they probably should go right, and they ended up lasting to the second round, like that we've always kind of mocked out in the first with Mesidor, Miller, Young, but I don't really know where the landing spots those guys are.
Thank you, Steve.
This isn't. So who's high on the board?
So Texans top 30 visits: Malachi Lawrence, Colton Hood, Denzel Boston, Chase Basantis, Zion Young.
Colton Hood here would make a lot of sense because Hood's not going to last too much further based on who's picking at the top of round 2.
Hood might not last. I mean, I could see the Dolphins. I'm not saying that they would, but I could see the Dolphins double dipping at cornerback, just given how dire their need is there. But
Agreed.
I think this is Hood or Basantis. I think this is one of the 2 of them because they also met with Pregnon and they met with some other interior guys.
Well, if they met with Pregnon, why not go with Pregnon?
Well, but the other thing is that Houston's picking in 8 more picks. I don't think they would go interior offensive line here with the depth of the class. Go for a position that's scarcer, which would be corner with Colton Hood.
Really? cornerback when you got Brandon Cisse, Colton Hood, Chris Johnson, all on the board right now? To me, if I'm looking at it, man, I just want to trade down.
I think this is Colton Hood because they've shown interest in him and they want to continue to stockpile in that back end. You paid Stingley. You're not gonna be able to pay both Stingley and Lassiter. You might as well get ahead of it with contract control, and you have you're gonna run more than 2 corners a season.
All right, I am fine with this. And then
Chiefs
we got
who?
The Chiefs went McCoy earlier.
Yeah. Akeem Mesidor.
Blake Miller.
Going with all the injured players.
Yep.
I would hate that. Zion Young
would be good. I think we've been talking about him a ton. Where I actually do really like that.
PJ Parker.
Zion Young fits Kansas City taking edge rushers that don't have a ton of upside in the first round.
I like TJ Parker better than Zion Young. But it sounds like Young is a little bit more of the popular pick. Owen, would you agree?
Yeah, I think they met with a ton of edges. They met with neither of those guys, but I think edge is definitely going to be the pick here. I think Young is the popular name that's been kind of floated around as being a for sure.
What other edges have they met
checked? Ruben Bain, David Bailey, guys who aren't here anymore.
Okay.
We haven't looked at the draft invite list. What players got invited to the draft that we haven't picked yet.
Are you looking that up now, or were you asking me to look it up?
Well, no, I'm pulling it up right now. So
I bet TJ Parker.
Hold on. So 16. Only 16. What?
Oh, man. I'm going to guess TJ Parker's on that list. Maybe I'm
It's not. David Bailey, Ruben Bain, Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, Keldrick Falk, Colton Hood, Makai Lemon, Jeremiah Love, CeCe Manoa, Caden McDonald, Caden Proctor, Arvell Reese, Ty Simpson, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, and Jordan Tyson. The only player we haven't taken yet is Ty Simpson.
Somebody trading up to get Ty Simpson from the Chiefs.
I wouldn't. I think this is Zion Young. I think we go Zion Young.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just because he's going to be at the draft doesn't mean he's going to get drafted.
There's always one person who sticks in the green room afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe Ty Simpson should go to Miami.
They've committed to wanting to try to win with Malik Willis or make him work as their quarterback with the contract they gave him and everything they've said so far leading up to the process.
Plus, so I'm trying to look. I mean, this is. I would love for them to grab a Denzel Boston or someone here to give some options to Malik Willis as well.
I like the Denzel Boston idea.
Let's see.
I mean, over Chris Bell. God, who else? Jeremy Bernard, Elijah Surratt.
Guys in this range that they've met with, Banks. Who's still available? Ty Simpson they met with. No, this is the Cardinals. I'm dumb. This is the Cardinals. This is an alphabetical list. I thought this was going to pull it up. Give me a second.
Owen's mixing up his animals. A dolphin is in the water. A bird is in the sky.
Yes, thank you, Jim. I need that clarification. They have met with Ty Simpson. Zion Young is gone. Emmanuel McNeil Warren they've met with. Denzel Boston they met with.
If they met with Boston, I'd really like to see him go here. I see what Jake's saying with Balake Miller, but
Balake. I think Boston.
I like that Balake.
I go Boston.
Yeah, that joke's in a new Western original. Balake.
Okay. So is somebody trading up to get Ty Simpson here?
Who would it be?
Well, I mean, the trade up for Arizona isn't
it's
that
not that
far.
big.
Because I think that basically it's the Patriots dropping 4 spots.
Is it that, or is it the Jets trading up with Seattle?
It could be the Jets trading up with Seattle, but New England's on the clock. Is there a
I
player
bet you-
here that New England absolutely loves, or would they trade out 4 spots and likely get a very similar player?
I'm trying to look. So like Blake Miller, when he plays on the right side, and I know that doesn't solve the Will Campbell conversation, but it sounds like they're committed to Campbell, right?
Yeah,
They're committed to Campbell at left tackle.
I believe so.
I mean, Blake.
They met with Pregnon.
Okay, so they got AVT. Who's their other guard besides Vera Tucker? Because they just
Weren't
signed
they
him.
starting Jared Wilson at guard?
They're moving Jared Wilson to center for sure. So they
Their
signed
offensive-
AVT.
Yeah, their offensive line looks good right now because it's Campbell, AVT, Wilson, Onwenu, and then I forget who's at right tackle, but it's someone fine. But the fact is they're banking on AVT
Morgan
staying
Moses?
healthy.
Morgan Moses at right tackle.
It might be.
I would take if Blake Miller's on the board for you and you've got an opportunity to shore up that line in front of May.
It is Morgan Moses.
Steve actually is the one that said in the chat. I didn't come up with that off the top of my head. Thank you, Steve. I would be looking for Blake Miller here.
I'd sign off on that.
All right.
Okay. Now, Seattle doesn't have a lot of draft picks. They would definitely trade down if there was a player here worth trading up for.
See, Steve says the Jets are going to go day 3 quarterback. Is he saying that because he hopes that's what's happening, or is he saying that because he's confident that's what's actually going to be what they're doing?
I think he's conditioned himself by the more he repeats it, the more it will come true. So I think he's just trying to manifest it into existence. I love you, Steve, but yeah.
TJ Parker?
It could be. I think that I'm pulling through visit tracker.
Brandon Cisse, they just lost Reek.
Yeah. They've met with Zion Young's gone.
Avion Terrell too. I mean, I'm more
Mason Thomas they met with.
Ooh.
Cassius Howell, Malachi Lawrence, Kieran Crawford.
Malachi Lawrence here. Malachi Lawrence here.
Oh, I go Cassius Howell though.
I think
you would do Howell over Lawrence. Newt?
I think so. Yeah.
Look, you got to think about how. So this is the Ravens style defense.
Well, they're like definitely going with an outside linebacker, like a stand-up edge rusher for sure. So I don't know. Do you guys want to go? If you want to go Lawrence over Howell, I'm fine with that.
I think that's where all the momentum is right now for him to land in the first.
All right.
Like he would have went if he doesn't go to 26 to the Bills, he's probably going to go somewhere in those last few picks.
Can I get a screenshot? There we go. Okay. I will have that posted to X shortly.
Hell yeah.
So, guys, this is our second to last podcast of the cycle.
Yeah.
Now, next week, for those of you in the chat, Newton and Owen have a little tradition that they do because they have the podcast that's immediately before the draft. So next week, they're doing their prop bets for the draft. It's always a fun show. It's a fun show. So come with your hottest takes, what you think the betting lines are. We will be inventing betting lines on the podcast next week. It's a lot of fun.
I'm pretty sure the last prop episode there was a jersey put on the line. So
no, that was the wide receiver ranking.
Oh, it was just the wide receiver one. All right. Well,
yeah. What are we wagering? I'll take the beard. You don't need it for the playoffs. I do. I need to add on.
The wager is the winner or the loser buys the winner the jersey of their player.
I mean for the prop bets episode.
I don't know. Let's we'll discuss that after the show, and we'll introduce it.
And Newt, you do need to plant your flag and gloat a little bit, because we did a prop bets episode for the combine, and you may have nailed a pick or two. So you nailed, it was Deion Burks, right?
I picked Deion Burks.
No, he picked Deion Burks.
Okay, so Owen picked Deion Burks, but Newt, which one?
Stowers. That was Eli Stowers was the one that I nailed.
Who won that? The props for the combine? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
You had a tracker.
I didn't go back and look at it. I just the minute that Eli Stowers hit the 45 inch vert, that was the only thing I cared about at that point.
Yep.
He was like the best part of the combine, and I called it.
Well, right, but Newt, the amount of right, because you did enough research to know that he was like a high jump champion in high school, right? So there was a little bit of research that was going into that take. But anyway, so the prop bets episode for the NFL draft, it'll be Wednesday. The NFL draft is Thursday next week. So it's a lot of fun with Owen and Newt with the couple shows right before the draft. And like you guys, the three of us, we've been with Draft Professor since we started it. So I love having this show the day right before the draft. You guys absolutely rock. So, Newt, do you want to let everybody know about all of the podcasts you do for Cheesehead TV and everything else that you do?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can, truth be told, you can find me more so just on my Twitter handle at NFL Draft _Weston. I put content out for ZeroTechDraft.com, Cheesehead TV, as Jim mentioned, here on Wednesdays, and the Cheesehead TV Draft Guide, which I have a hard copy of right here. If you haven't checked it out and you're a Packer fan, check this out. It is a phenomenal work of art, which Owen and myself were contributors for. So that's what I'll leave it off with.
I'm incredibly jealous you have a physical copy of that. That is awesome.
I'm. It was like one of the things I was looking forward to was getting that thing printed.
So did you print that, or did you have to order it and they shipped it to you?
No, so Cheesehead TV, if anyone's out there curious, they do sell it, but it is just a digital copy. So if you wanted a hard copy, there are probably less than a dozen hard copies out there, if not less than just the one that is in my hands. I might be the only weirdo out there with a hard copy of this. But no, it's a digital format. You'd have to print it yourself if you want.
Oh,
yep. So you can find me at the Weekly Huddle on YouTube and on Twitter. You can see me gloating about the Buffalo Sabres breaking the playoff drought, in addition to my NFL draft takes, and I will let Newt know about that every chance I get.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see some other content going up on my channel leading up to the draft. We'll see if I can get some stuff up. But there's also something I'm really excited about is on this podcast a few weeks ago, we ran a Family Feud style game for the lead up to the draft. I'm going to do another one of those, but it's going to be with questions for after the draft. Who had the best draft? What was the best pick? Stuff like that. So we're going to be setting up the survey, sending that out, and running that kind of game show again post-draft this time. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, so if you have that survey made, Owen, on the Saturday of the draft, we're doing an immediate reaction show, and I will advertise the survey on the show.
Sounds good to me.
Kind of thing. So I want to thank the chat. Very active today. Guys, thank you. Guys and people. There's probably some women in there too. Thank you for stopping by. Draft Professor will be here for live coverage of the NFL draft. We will have live coverage on Thursday. We will have live coverage on Friday. We will have live coverage on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, we will have a draft immediate reaction show. I believe that's going to be Marcus and Anthony Russo.
Nice.
Doing the immediate reaction show. There will be another immediate reaction show with Jack Brenton Sunday morning. So we will be covered all the way through the draft. Summer scouting starts in 3 weeks. May 4th will be the first Draft Professor Summer Scouting podcast. So we will have a week where it will not be the 2027 draft. And then the week after, starting the first week of May, we will be doing summer scouting, different podcasts every night. You'll see Owen on Tuesdays breaking down the Big Ten. You'll see Hank doing the SEC on Mondays. You'll see Durst doing the ACC on Wednesdays. You'll see Drew and Taylor doing the Big 12 on Fridays. So should be a lot of fun with a Kansas and a Kansas State fan covering the Big 12. Nice. I'm sure that there will be some entertainment there. But summer scouting starts in May. If you're a fan of the draft and you want to get involved, we are looking maybe for a few more podcasters. Right now, every podcast has 2 people on it. Some of them have 3. I'm trying to get each podcast to 3 people. So if you're interested, we are looking for a few more draft professors, so to speak. For Newt, Owen, myself, the 90 podcasters at the Draft Professor, thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy your Wednesday night. We will see you on a podcast again tomorrow night where we have 7 people doing Draft a Team. Thank you, everybody.